Alrighty, so I'm about to install the AWE exhaust I got. So I'm just gonna flip around really quick. This is the stock exhaust, of course. I do have just matte black tips, but the AWE will have the chrome black. You can see the big box there. Oh yeah, not gonna do any sound clips because there are a trillion of those on the internet. But just wanted to document before I started the work, and I'll show after. Bye.
One eternity later.
Okay, so yesterday I installed my AWE exhaust on the Supra, which I'll just show again really quick. Looks like this. Pretty happy with how it turned out. It's a little bit lower on the right side, but I've not been able to resolve that. I mean, from here, you'd never notice, but it sounds great. It's just insanely loud on cold start, and I have a neighbor who lives above where my car parks. So what I'm currently doing, based on a video I saw, is I'm going to attempt to make some silencers for when I start the car in the morning. So this is just pool noodle from a Big 5, and I'm still in the process of working on this, but the idea is you get some of the noodle into the actual pipe back here, and then this larger part kind of fills this, actual tip space. And the hope is that when I start the car with these in, the cold start won't be as obnoxious. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna finish these up. I'm basically just doing the pool noodle. I'm gonna duct tape everything together nice and tight, and then I'm gonna wrap it once with just a microfiber cloth just to protect the tips. But see what happens. The exhaust sounds amazing. I'm loving it. Makes the car sound really exotic, as I think it should. Kind of matches the look, but I don't want to annoy my neighbors. So we'll see how things go. Okay, so here's the sort of final design I've come up with. So pool noodle, more pool noodle, some duct tape, and the microfiber. Doesn't need to look pretty, but you can see, so I got that one in, and it's just as easy as going, wait, boop, and it's in. So now the question is it quieter? Well, I'm gonna set the phone down, camera, we'll find out. So let's see what happens. Okay, so first test, significantly quieter, but the silencer things didn't stay in. So I'm gonna keep working a little bit, maybe put some more microfiber towel. My hair's looking good. I'm not wearing a hat because I don't care. But wow, huge difference initially. So the plan would be, because as I mentioned, the problem is cold start. I know one solution would be cold start delete, using boot mode 3, whatever, but I don't think I want to go that route. I don't even know if my ECU is tunable. Alternative would obviously be going back to stock, which I really don't want to, because once it's warmed up, it's almost normal. But then when you get on the gas, it sounds really good. So yeah, the plan would be in the mornings when I'm going to work, I pop those in, start the car, let it kind of warm up for 30 or so seconds, pop them out and leave, and hopefully no one's annoyed. But yeah, gotta do a bit more fiddling and get them to stay in. So anyway, I'll keep at it, let you know how it goes. All right. So we added some more microfiber towel. Actually, one more to be exact. So wait, that's how they're looking now. Pretty goofy, but let's set the camera down and see what we end up with. Holy smokes. I think we did it. Okay, that was dramatically different. So now I can just go, that pops out. That pops out. Uh-oh. Need to tighten that tip a little bit more apparently. So, huge difference. I mean, that was like stock sound, basically. Yeah. So that could work. That could do it. Still feels a little goofy to have to do, but, you know, car stuff, right? Anyway, I think that's it. I'll update in a few weeks or something. I might redesign these just so they hold up over time. I worry pulling them in and out, you know, at least 3 times a week will wear them out quickly. But yeah, the silencers work, and hopefully the neighbors don't get mad. Okay, bye. All right, so this is the sort of final update before I put this video together, just talking about the pool noodle situation. So they work great, honestly. I've been using them for a couple weeks now, and the result is incredible. So let me flip you around here. In the morning, just grab my little noodles out of this bag here that I keep on my passenger seat. Don't typically have passengers, but if I do, I can just toss them in the back pretty easy. So just to remind you, and they look the same, I haven't redesigned them, but in the morning, I just go like this, pop it in, pop the other one in, and then I hop in the car, start it up. It's, you know, as quiet as stock. I double checked with my upstairs neighbor. She said, totally good, doesn't bother her at all. And then it takes about, I don't know, 45 seconds, kind of just stand around in the garage, ponder life, check Slack, whatever. And then it quiets down and I pop them out, put them back in the bag, and I'm good to go. So, quick review on the AWE exhaust itself. Honestly, I love it. Like, I think, first off, it looks amazing. I know that's not always something that people care about with an exhaust, and I don't just mean the tips. These sort of, they're not technically mufflers, I know. They're 180 drone technology or anti-drone technology. They just look amazing. They give the car from the rear this sort of bigger feel. I don't really know how to explain it, but they look cool, and they're not so low that they scrape. I haven't had any issues with them. The larger tips, I think, really fill the space in the back. And then the sound, like, so this is the non-resonated version of the exhaust. So it's the AWE non-resonated Touring. And I have an aftermarket downpipe. It's a high flow downpipe, but it still has a cat. And I will say that at some point in the future here, I'm probably going to purchase some small resonators. So like I found 4-inch resonators. That's not 4 inches, but whatever. And I'm gonna either have a shop put them in, or I'm gonna do it myself. Shouldn't be too bad. And the only reason is it's just a little raspy. There's a lot of sort of metallic sound at higher revs, and I found that I'm not avoiding wide open throttle, but I'm doing it less just because it's a little too much for my ear. But everything else, like the low speed sound on this exhaust is unreal. Like it truly sounds exotic. The burbles now are incredible. I was genuinely worried about not having a valve, but first off, I don't think a valve would fix the cold start. So for normal driving, the valve really doesn't matter. I didn't really believe it initially, but a lot of the pops and burbles on the stock exhaust are a result of going into sport mode, so it's just ECU driven. The valve just kind of opens things up and lets you hear more. But on the AWE exhaust, not having a valve, when you're in normal mode, so comfort or whatever it's called in the Supra, I forget. I've driven too many BMWs at this point. You get some low speed burbles, but otherwise it's really tame and super manageable. I love how it sounds. And then if you put it in sport and you let off the gas at high RPM, you'll get crazy pops and stuff. Obviously, I've got the aftermarket downpipe, so if you have a stock one, your mileage will vary. And I could guess if you have no catalytic converter, it's going to be significantly louder. So, but yeah, I'm really happy with the exhaust, and I totally think that stuffing pool noodles into the the end of it in the mornings is very worth it. So yeah, if you're on the fence about the AWE, that's kind of my quick take on it. Fitment was great. I mean, I did it all by myself on the garage floor, and it wasn't too bad. It took me a couple hours, but mostly because I was just being really picky and trying to get it perfect. But yeah, highly recommend. And if you are worried about cold starts because you have neighbors and you don't want to irritate anybody, I can always do a follow-up video and walk through exactly how I did the pool noodle setup. It's really not difficult. I just kind of, I winged it, just kind of engineered as I built it, and they've been great. So some pool noodles, duct tape, and I think I used 4 total microfiber towels that I just picked up from an AutoZone across the street. So yeah, if you are looking for a new exhaust, I highly recommend the AWE. If you don't like raspy, I would recommend the resonated. And even if you have a stock downpipe, be prepared for a really, what's the word I'm looking for? A really powerful cold start. It's loud, and I want to be clear. It's not just the first like 2 seconds, like a big rev or anything. It's for about 45 seconds. It is very loud, very loud. Even so loud that sometimes when I'm leaving work, I park on the second or the lower floor of a parking garage. Every once in a while, I'll put the pool noodles in even to leave work because I'm worried I'm going to set off a car alarm. However, once the car is warmed up and not in that cold start mode, it's perfect. It's almost like stock. I mean, you hear like I'd say the AWE, it has a lot more low end. It's kind of bub 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 bub, which doesn't help. But for you, the viewer, hearing that, but it sounds really good. It sounds cool, but it's super tame once cold start's done. So anyway, that's all I got. And if someone who watches this is like, hey man, you got to show me how you made those exactly, let me know in the comments and I'll do it. All right, till the next time.